Welcome to the Shulamite Podcast, an extension of Shulamite Ministries and Shulamite.com, with weekly interviews and teaching with author and speaker Martha Kilpatrick and hosted by John Enslow. This weekly podcast is a way to stay connected to the ministry. So come experience anointed messages, not giving just another method, but a living impartation.
I was just going to say, I think you can be blessed by that feeling of belonging and that feeling of fellowship and that feeling of community when you see other people comment, when other people share their revelations, you know, some of it piercing for your heart and some of it encouraging, because it's real easy to think maybe that everyone is further ahead than you are, further down the road, more mature, this, that, or the other. It really doesn't work that way, the body of Christ. You know, you can have somebody who is very young and they can say one of the most profound things that ever came out of the mouth of a human being. The Lord speaks what he wants to speak through whom he wants to speak. And that's one of the fun things. And I'd love that. Also, I would love for people to be commenting, you know, on the blog or on the podcast rather than Facebook. Because Facebook is circling some pretty dark areas. And, you know, we don't know how much longer that kind of community will be welcome on there, to be perfectly honest. So it'd be nice if we had some people touching in on our platforms that we host. Nice and safe.
Also, I'd love to ask if you have been impacted by this, go to Living Christian Books where you bought it and leave a review, because people need to know what's being impacted in different lives and how the book is really encouraging people. And you know, I know when I'm buying something online, I usually will look at the reviews first just to see, okay, what are people saying about this? And I would say probably 75% of the time, if it's a new product, 75% of the time, if not more, my buying habit is being led by what people are saying about it. If I see a bunch of reviews about someone says, "Oh my gosh, this stuff is, you know, bad." We were just looking up tape today, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is a horrible tape. You can't even pull it. Can't even separate it from the roll, and you have to, you know, 14 feet before you ever get to the first part of the adhesive, and you know, it's not invisible, you know." So all this stuff, and we wouldn't have known that if someone hadn't reviewed. So please do the reviews. And we're about to put the book on Kindle, so that's going to be good. And we'd love for you to, we're not going to sell it through Amazon in the paper format. That'll only be available in Living Christian Books. But the Kindle version will be available hopefully today. By the time this comes out this weekend, it should be up. There's a delay. I don't understand that. But, you know, you can get that on Kindle as well.
And while we're at it, please go to my older books like All and Only and Adoration that are on Amazon and comment. It helps so much, even if it's been a long time since you read it or whatever. If it impacted you, we would be so grateful, because again, it's you are the ones. It's word of mouth that is the best and most reliable.
Well, because we don't have a active sales force and marketing campaign for your materials, I mean, it is word of mouth. Really, that's what we do. We're a ministry, and we're not involved in the whole big sale, heavy marketing, what do they call it? Shopping funnels where you're increasing the revenue, blah, blah, blah. We're a ministry. We've not ever found that stuff works. But what we have found that works is people like say, oh my gosh, God's sovereignty is amazing. You have to get that. And then it goes like a wave across whole state. We've seen that happen. And I believe that this booklet is about to do that, because this is so accessible and it's so dynamic. It's so to the point. There's not, fluff. It's just the straight up nugget, divine nugget, and it's just perfect, isn't it? It just, I leave that thing and I have the essence. I don't have to wade through tons of words, tons of repetition, tons of even personal story. It's just straight up revelation, and I can leave it with the Spirit, and it's a part of me. That's why it's being effective, is because the Spirit is using it really to challenge people and to make evident this reality in people's lives. It has that anointing and power. I really totally believe that you came down that day with something that the Spirit had given you, and that it was deeply impactful and just diamond bit honed, laser honed, whatever analogy you want to use. It's just a deep honing directly to the source. So I love it. I love it.
We hope you've enjoyed the Shulamite podcast. For all the latest from Shulamite Ministries, please visit us at Shulamite.com, where you'll find Martha's daily devotions, posts from GetAlongWithGod.com, and the online library of all of Martha's writings. At Shulamite.com, downloading the free Shulamite app is easy, and LivingChristianBooks.com is only a click away. Thank you for joining us on this journey to discover a God worth knowing.